When I say war, what do you think of? Soldiers? Guns? Tanks? Maybe even death? What nobody thinks about is that last year alone, the United States spent an approximate $750 billion on their military. Comparing this to the next highest spender, China, they come in at a measly $293 billion. The United States accounts for roughly 40% of all spending in the military in the entire world. Should this be a concern to us? And this is something that the government isn't telling us about this spending. Today at Inside the Finances, we're going to take a deeper dive into how wars are profitable and a look inside the finances of war. War has become a staple of normality in society as of late, whether it be Russia invading Ukraine, war in the Middle East, or even the aftermath of 9/11. We've become so accustomed to this that throughout mankind we have been in war for more years than there has been peace worldwide. This is since the first recorded war over 3,000 years ago. We've spent less than 250 of those years in worldwide peace. We've become so numb to war that it makes you feel as though there will never be peace again. When thinking about this, it makes you wonder, what's the point of war? With it becoming less and less about the power control between countries, begin to wonder whether the government is doing it for fun. However, there is one reason why this keeps happening. That sweet, sweet American dollar. When war is not active, the amount that the government is willing to spend on the military is much lower than if our security is threatened. The US has approximately 1.4 million soldiers in active duty at the moment. The maintenance of a soldier, plus the gear, salary, and any other needs, averages $100,000 a soldier. This means that out of that $800 billion spent on the military, only $140 billion goes to personnel. This still leaves over $600 billion unaccounted for. So where does this go? Greedy little companies who can charge up to 500% more just because their country is at war. If the government issued a contract for 5 fighter jets, which cost about $500 million in total, if the US was at war, these companies could be charging easily $2 billion because of what's known as war tax. These profits are not just limited to the countries producing the high-tech equipment. In the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the agricultural industry has boomed because of the shortage. ADM has recently reported an increase in profits of over 50% during April, June and July. In World War I, many leather and ration companies were able to double their profits over the 4-year period purely because the government were willing to pay as much as they needed to supply those war needs. Take one little guess where this money comes from. Our wallets. The government will increase the interest rates, print some more money. You guys know the trick. A little bit of inflation here, a little bit there. They'll make you pay for these military operations at these insane costs, just continuing to line the pockets of the wealthiest in the world. These same companies that are supplying us this military equipment in order to protect us from those terrible countries we must go to war with, well, they're supplying the enemy with the exact same tools. General Motors were in a massive scandal about the fact that they were supplying airplanes, tanks, cars to Germany during World War II. All while telling us American citizens that they were here to protect us and helping us soldiers. So it seems these companies are supplying the equipment to both sides of the war and charging us 4 times the amount. It seems like these guys can't get much worse until we find out that these exact same companies and CEOs are the ones pushing politicians and the government to announce war. They'll drop little hints about how Russia's latest tech could really harm us, or that China seems to be evolving quickly. Just little paths to try and send innocent soldiers off to dangerous countries and killing thousands of them with their own guns for that juicy war tax. Russia has been able to make unholy amounts of profits from their invasion of Ukraine. But how have they done this? It's because while Russia was invading Ukraine, they were selling the EU 45% of their gas needs. This was bringing in an absurd $900 million a day for Russia. Not only were they invading a country, but they were selling the country's reinforcements the resources they needed to try and fight them off. During the Iraq War, which is known as one of the most profitable wars ever, the entire defence section of the stock market was producing 58% higher returns than expected. The company that received the highest backlash from this? Halliburton. This because they received $39.5 billion in Iraq war contracts while providing what was described as bad products with complaints I can unfortunately not repeat on YouTube, but I'm sure you guys get the idea, right? As mentioned before, there are many reports that then CEO of Halliburton, Dick Cheney, had many meetings and talks with President Bush, attempted to convince him to declare war, that there was some shady businesses going on here. Many believe that this was in fact a profit motive from Bush and Cheney. This goes to show you how the working man is a sucker. But what can be done about this? No one man like you or I can stop what's going on. We can't produce these 5 prize jets at the snap of a finger. We can't supply the millions of guns required for these wars. So what happens to us? We get stuck with the bill. It's our interest rates that get raised. It's our food that we're buying for our family that gets inflated so that the government can pay off these excessive debts to those greedy, slimy companies. Those same companies who make their money off sending out innocent families to fight the wars in which they are supplying the guns they use and the tanks that they die from. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I truly appreciate it. If you did enjoy, please feel free to like the video, comment on what parts interested you the best, and please subscribe to the channel. You can always unsub if you do change your mind. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.